again, week 3. This week, this is going to be such a bad week of football. I can already tell it's just going to be a disaster. Opening with the Raiders and the Bulldogs, two teams that are probably underperforming to start the year, to be perfectly honest. Because you've got the Raiders that barely beat Manly and then got whacked by the Warriors last week. And you got Canterbury, who barely beat the Dragons and then didn't play at all last week. So, I don't know. I think this will be a pretty close game. I've got Canterbury winning. I think the end of Jacob Carraz is going to be very, very important for them in terms of like second phase play and all that jazz. They do really need that. Past that, there's just, I think they have a little bit more experience in the halves. I think Lockie Galvin looked really good in Vegas. He definitely touched the ball a lot more than he did at any point with them last year. So I think they seem to have decent combinations going. That Galvin-Preston combo looks pretty good. So maybe look for that to be pretty successful here. For the Raiders, it's just all about Ethan Sanders, isn't it? That's what it's about. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess we will see how this game plays out. I watched Project Hail Mary this morning. It was very, very good. Lots of fun. I nearly cried over a bunch of rocks. Oh, Rocky. I'm going to be doing this at random points. No one's going to understand it because it only came out today. It was pretty good. Pretty good movie. Then next week, I think it'll probably be Hoppers that I'll be having a look at. What are we looking at? Fantasy team-wise, yes. Debriefing 10 minutes before the game starts. I've done 2 trades this week. I've traded Dylan Brown out for obvious reasons and brought in Ryan Couchman. I might be jumping on a little bit too late, but he seems like he has quite a bit of money to make. He's been averaging mid-50s. Worst comes to the worst, he makes 200k averaging in the 40s. I have no problem with that. And then the other one, which is the one I'm less attached to, is Jaden Campbell to Nathan Cleary. My thought process is the Titans are bad. Campbell is named on the bench, so he may not even get a play this week. And I'm looking at how the Panthers are going and how rugby league in and of itself is going this year. It's very, very reminiscent of the 2021 season where he averaged a ridiculously high number. It was probably the late 70s or something. Just consistent captaincy option. It at least makes sense to me. It just limits money making a little bit because he is 900k and he's not going to get that much better. But at least we have 275k in the bank and my team is starting to actually look half decent now. So the only problem is it forces me to play Fayamani this week. But they are playing the Cowboys, which means he'll probably get like 10 tackle breaks, and through that alone, he might score more than Scott Drinkwater. Yeah, they're probably the only people. Like McEwen is being really annoying. That's about it. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Streaming. So don't rock up in here.
Okay.
Put some clothes on, you dimwit. That was my little brother being a nudist. I think I need to figure out a better setup for this because it's just like I've got my microphone sat on a copy of Uzumaki right now. My audio thing is over here. My camera is on like the very, very edge of the monitor I'm using to watch the actual game. And I got my thing over here, but I don't know how else I could really set it up. I mean, to your guys's that left, I have a shelf that I might use, but that goes very, very high. I don't know whether that angle would be bad or not. And moving the microphone in further picks up like the air conditioner, for example, so I think that has to stay there. And then I don't have long enough cords to worry about anything else. So unless I get like a full-on like desktop like PC, I don't think there's much I can do, and I'm not that interested. But you know, we will see how it goes. It's been working well so far, so maybe I don't need to do anything just yet. Oh, we're previewing Friday football, which is 2 games that on paper should be really close, but in practice might just end up being 20-point wins to Melbourne and Penrith. Narrated by Matt Nable, as it always is. Yeah, like 3 of the most successful franchises over the past decade and change, and the Broncos. Although, to be fair, it's been Melbourne, the Roosters, the Panthers, and now Brisbane for the past 10 years. So, yeah. I'm intrigued about the Storm Broncos game because Adam Reynolds is out, but if we know anything, it's that Reece Walsh grows an extra leg when he has to carry the team, so maybe they'll be okay. Grand final rematches are always fun. And then you've got Panthers Roosters, which is not going to be close. The Panthers are going to win that game by quite a bit, I would suggest. Yeah. Yeah, this game I think is going to be more interesting than either of those because I legitimately don't have a clue who's going to win. Which probably means Canterbury are going to win by 20, even though I've tipped them by, I think, 4. It'll be close. I am very, very intrigued. Why do we have daylight savings? It's so stupid. 5 p.m. Why? Why is the gap 3 hours? That's not how that's supposed to work. Here we go. I think both sides 1 to 17 is fine. I think Jed Stewart is a late in on the Raiders extended bench. He joins Dane Laurie, I think, in the 18th and 19th slots. The Bulldogs, I think, were 1 to 19. So some good continuity there. Obviously, Bronson Sherry has been dropped for Anari Tuala, which is a pretty sad sense. It's a multicultural round, that's right. Oh, this is a neat touch. You got a bunch of them going to be running out wearing their respective flags. That's really cool. Jacob Carraz gets to run out wearing the Lebanese flag. Nice. This is cool. Outside shots in GIO Stadium. Here we go. Stephen Crichton leading them out wearing the Samoan flag. Got a kick out there. Fiji. Same with Montoya. There we go. Max King wearing the British flag. I don't know what Bailey Hayward was wearing. What was that? Scotland! There you go. It's raining in Canberra. Great. This is going to be a grindy game of football. I don't know who that benefits, to be perfectly honest. Strength of this Bulldogs team is obviously their edge forwards. So I expect quite a few like short passes to Jacob Preston and Viliami Kikau and let him run over people. For the Raiders, maybe the middle of the field, like the Papali'i, Tapani, Horsburgh sort of combo in the middle could be pretty deadly. Tapani. That's a cool flag. I'm not certain what that one is, but it looks neat. The horn. A cool moment this is. Raiders fan with the Lebanese flag. Is that someone with a Ukrainian flag? Is that what that was? Who's that? Is that Hudson Young? That's kind of neat. Someone ran out with Tongan. I think that was Tamale. Cool. That's really neat. I like that. That's cool. Papa shaved his head. No! The big hair. So, I said 20 to 18, I think, was my official score prediction for this. I have, who's what? Because I put one on for the entire round where I picked winner and a try scorer. So I've got, for this one, it's Karaz to score, Bulldogs to win. Here we go, Thursday night football. Burton gets us underway. Flies to the side. Fielded by Tamale. First hit up, it's Josh Papali'i. He runs into Preston and Tuala, and he's brought down 13 out from his own line with the help of Max King. Starling at a dummy half finds Tamale, and he gets some good post contact to the 20 there. It's Sam Hughes. Yes, I do. Oh, okay, cool. Horsburgh now brought down. In the tackle of Salmon and Burton. They run. Papali'i again with the head up, gets over the 40. There's King. There's four of them there. Preston, Salmon, Hughes, all there to stop him. On the last, Sanders sends it downfield with the left. It's going to be fielded at the 10 by Connor Tracy. And he brings it back towards the middle of the field. And he's going to be brought down by Horsburgh and Starling and Strange. Dead center about 17 out from his own line. Tuala now gets over the 20, and he's brought down by Chris with the help of what looks like Hudson Young. Back towards the middle now. It's Tracy, and Karaz takes a hit up, and he can't get away from Noah Martin. He's brought down 25 out. Out of dummy half, it's Matt Burton, tucks and runs, and gets over the 30, and then it's pushed back. Big contact, Tarpany and Starling there get that one. He's stopped 31 out. Max King with the hit up. Gets over the 40, that's a good run. They needed that. So on the last, they're going to go to the left side to find Burton. And he's going to put the kick downfield. And it's going to be fielded at the half meter by KO Weeks. Pin perfect kick from Matt Burton. And then Weeks is pushed back. He's stopped about 13 out from his own line. First run, Savage. He's stopped 20 at dead center. Max King is there. Now they go left. Tamale takes a hit up. He runs into Preston and Tuala, and he only gains about 5. Now running back towards the middle from dummy half as Chris beats 1, gains 10. They needed that run. King is groggy a little bit. 6 again. Tarpany with a hit up over the 40. Tarpany gets past kick out, nearly to halfway. Good run there. So Starling, now they go short right side. Strange, dummies. Round the legs, kick out over the top is Crichton. 40 out. On the second, they go short right side again. This time it's going to be Sasangi who takes the run. He stopped at the 30. Starling out of dummy half again. Burton was called offside. Starling gets up and goes again. 15 out on the 4th. They go towards the middle. Sanders. He drifts across. Turns Tarpany underneath. Tarpany beats 1. Can't quite get the offload away. He stopped 9 out dead center on the last. They go left side. Horsburgh. Sanders. Dummies. Meets Preston, gets the offload to Young. Young goes to, oh, look out, Tamale's over! It went through Chris to Tamale. Tamale was too strong, and the Raiders score immediately. That was a good offload there from Ethan Sanders. That pass, that around the corner sort of basketball pass from Hudson Young was brilliant. Look at this, around Inari Tuala. It's KO Weeks that gets the pass out to Savelio Tamale. He beats he beats Tracy, beats Galvin, and scores the Raiders' opening try. Look at that from Hudson Young. That's great ball playing. Raiders fans erupt. Well, I just got a notification about an injury. Who's hurt? Ooh, important for tomorrow night. Artivalu Lasati's ruled out. Whoa. What happened? 4 weeks? Holy. Wow, okay. What happened there? Sam Lasati out a month with a calf strain. Wow. I called him Sam again. Wow, the kick from Sanders is good over the black dot. Artivalu Lasati, he's out for a month now, so that's important for the game tomorrow night between the Broncos and the Storm. Are we selling him? I don't know. Wow. That sucks for them because he's been excellent for them in the opening 2 weeks. Guess I can use him as a loop. Not really. He plays his 3rd game. Kick is away from the Dogs. Fielded. Tamale. Hit up. First one, it's Papa again. Gets over the 10. Runs into Preston and Tuala. He's tackled about 14 out. At a dummy half. Starling finds Tamale. Good run there. Gets over the 20, where he's brought down by King and Hughes and Salmon in the middle of the field. Now 6 again. Offside. Tarpany beats 1. Tarpany looks a man on a mission so far. Penalty Raiders. Okay, Sanders switches his view and is going to find touch. Good kick. 5 on the other side of halfway. So Sungi off the tap finds Strange. Strange finds Starling. They split it early. Young. They try to find space for Weeks. Good defense there from the Dogs. Didn't panic. Gained nothing there. Out of dummy half, it's Hudson Young, who got away from Preston once and then got the offload to Corey Horsburgh, who steps and tries to spin away from kick out, and he's dropped the ball. Penalty for a strip? Penalty for a strip, it's Jamin Salmon. And Corey Horsburgh punches the ball. Now Papali'i pushes. They are really not liking what Jamin Salmon's doing. Was that a strip? That wasn't a strip, was it? Was it kick out? Meanwhile, the tap. It's Noel Martin that takes the run and gets over the 30. Horsburgh to Sanders. Sanders turns Young underneath, and he's brought down quickly by Hayward. And Salmon over the top, and he plays the ball quick. Starling out of dummy half finds Papa. He turns upfield. And Hughes and Salmon and Hayward there again. 12 out dead center. They go to the right side through Sanders. Sanders shows to Martin, goes to Strange, and Strange trying to fight through contact. Can't get rid of the 3 Bulldogs there. About 3 in from the right touchline on the 4th. 2 passes hit up Tarpany, offload to Sanders. Sanders gets the ball to Young. Young skips across field. Nearly beats Galvin and is tackled 10 out. About 5 to the left of the uprights. They go short left side. Sanders. Flick pass to Starling. Starling to Tarpany. He flicks it to Martin. Martin gets the offload to Young. Young trying to get rid of the ball. He does eventually, away from Crichton to Sanders. They go to the right now. Sanders cut out ball. Savage kicks inside. Stranger's there. Oh, Tracy gets in the way to bat the ball dead. And what looked like a dead play turns into a dropout. So that worked fairly well for the Raiders in the end. Stephen Crichton got bumped off by Hudson Young. He got put into the ground. This is the Raiders that were around last year. Just keep the ball alive. Yeah, he put him down. Wow, that's going to be on the highlight reel. Crichton tries to drill it towards the sideline off the restart and can't. It finds Tamale. He drifts towards the middle of the field and is going to be tackled in the middle by King and Hughes and Salmon, 30 out. Now they go right. It's Corey Horsburgh who steps off his right foot and tries to power forward and walks over the 20, 16 out. They go left to Sanders. Sanders out back to Strange. Strange. Ball finds Weeks. Weeks to Tamale again. Tamale, can he beat? He couldn't beat Montoya and the help that came from Inari Tuala, and he's dragged over the touchline. So they're getting some good success down this left side so far. Montoya just jersey grabbing, but he got enough of it. And yeah, Tuala just drags the feet over the touchline. About 2 meters out from the line, I want to say. Yeah. And he lost it anyway. So now, off the restart, it is Montoya, and he's dragged by Chris and Papali'i and Sanders, who's in there as well. Now, Tuala. He takes the hit up. He meets Sanders again, but with the help of Horsburgh, he only gains about 4. He's shy of his own 20. Carraz. They're getting monstered. He's pushed back to the same spot the last play the ball was. It's Papali'i and Martin in that tackle. Go left to Burton. Burton to kick out. Kick out. Can't beat Strange. I saw Carraz clutching his shoulder. I'll keep an eye on that. As Max King now takes a hit up, and he gets over the 30. And it's brought down 35 out. Ball's going to find Burton on the left side, and he's going to put the kick downfield, and it's going to fly and fly and fly and be caught on the 10 by Savage, and he gets the ball to Weeks, and Weeks dances, tries to find a gap, stuck his nose through, but good tackle there from Preston, 19 out from the Raiders line. Tamale with the hit up, puts the ball down! Shot under the ribs, it's Marcelo Montoya on Savelio Tamale, and the Bulldogs get great attacking opportunity here. Cameron Serraldo looks fairly nonplussed. What a shot. Under the ribs. Bang! Puts his shoulder into the ball, pops it out. Great technique there from Montoya. Boom. So this will sway it towards the Dogs. They're 25 out, middle of the field. It's Preston who takes the hit up, and he backs into contact and is brought down 20 out on the first. They go middle to Galvin. They go left. This is Hughes, who gains about 4. So about 16 out on the second. They go to Galvin again. Galvin to Burton. Burton to Crichton on the wrong side of the field. Offload! It goes to Connor Tracy, who's over. That is Stephen Crichton at his roaming best there. Almost like a second fullback. That's an excellent piece of play design from the Dogs there. Look at this. He lined up on the wrong side of the play the ball and just sprinted over to get in position. It held out Sebastian Chris. Crichton finds the gap. And then Tracy's just there backing up like he always does. Sanders just couldn't quite stop Crichton before he could get the ball away. That is a wonderful piece of play. Try is confirmed. Crichton's going to have a kick to tie this game up. 12 minutes gone in the first half. I forgot to update the score. I got so entrenched in this game of football that I forgot to say that the Raiders had scored, and now the Dogs have scored. Let's see if they can tie up this game. That's just beautiful. Just creating the extra number. Crichton is such a threat. Too easy. That was just wonderful. It was Sebastian Chris who ran up out of the line. Obviously didn't see Crichton in the formation. And Crichton and Hudson Young are jawing. Now Crichton set up probably about 10 in from the right touchline, which is good for the left footer. Go moves in. Strikes it. It drifts out to the left. No good. 6-4. Canberra still have the lead after 12 minutes and 9 seconds. It's a good pass from Burton too, because he put enough air on it that it looked like it was going to go to Tracy, but also just held off on the pace a little bit, so it just hit Crichton exactly where you want it to hit him. Raiders send it downfield. Long kick. Falls about half a meter in the in goal where Hughes is going to bring it out and the Raiders are going to try and push him back, but he gets pulled forward by Viliami Kickout and ends up at the 10. Now Karaz with the hit up. He runs into Horsburgh. Is dropped 17 out on the second. Hayward from dummy half finds Max King and he takes the run, and it's Tarpany around the legs that stops him 23 out. They go right side, Galvin short to Preston. He runs at Ethan Sanders. They've clearly identified that area to go at, and he's tackled 35 out. They go left side. Burton's going to go for a 40-20. Weeks is out of position. It's a 40-20. What a kick from Matt Burton. And the blowtorch is going to be applied once again here. Just simple. From 35 deep. Rolls. Probably goes out about 15 out from the Raiders line. Look at that. Pinpoint. The 40-20 is an underutilized weapon. King with the hit up. He's going to be tackled 10 out by Papali'i and Tarpany, and Horsburgh's there to help as well. Dead center, they got options both ways. They're going to go left to Galvin. Galvin turns Crichton underneath. He runs at Noah Martin, and he crawls to about 3 meters out and keeps going on with it. That has to be a set restart given away by Noah Martin, surely. No. So the ball goes to Galvin now, and he's going to be tackled in the middle of the field on the second with Starling and Papali'i there. They go left again. This time, Salmon first receiver. Burton turns kick out underneath, and he runs back towards the post. And he's put the ball down. But it's going to be a penalty against the Raiders for what looks like a stripping action against Tom Starling. Oh, absolutely a strip there by Tom Starling. Pretty obvious call there. I think it came from the touchy. Starling was looking at the referee immediately. You have to imagine the Dogs will take the 2 to tie this up. Yep. And from dead in front, you can imagine that Crichton will put this over pretty easily. The referee has to say, hey guys, get back 10 away from the kick. Far out. Raiders trying a bit of gamesmanship there. Do I trade Lasati instead of Dylan Brown now? Because the trade still works, it just sets me back about 70k. Boom. Straight over. We are tied here at GIO, 6 apiece. Sati goes first. Raiders going to get us back underway here. As I'm quickly setting this up. Burton takes the kick. It's going to be run out by Hughes. Oh, and he is whacked! It's Josh Papali'i who puts him into the dirt. But it was high. And look out, there's some argy-bargy going on now. Horsburgh's in the middle of it because of course he is. He's jawing at basically every single player on the Bulldogs right now. Let's have a look at this. So, what's the... Oh! Look out. Papali'i might be in trouble here. Oh, shoulder straight to the... like, right here. It's the contact from Horsburgh lowers him just a bit. And bang! I think Papali'i might be sat down here. Let's have a look. What's going to happen? He's called Papali'i over. Tarpany's there too. I think you're going to see a high 10 given here by the referee. Papali'i is already starting to walk off. Yep, there he goes. Josh Papali'i has been sin bin. And you know what? A fair one in my opinion. That was pretty clear, direct, forceful contact to the head. And obviously Hughes is going to go off for an HIA. It's only fair. But penalty dogs, Burton's going to find touch somewhere in space. It's right here and it hits him basically right next to his mouth. It's at halfway, so Crichton with the tap gets over the 40. He runs it strange. He just keeps moving. About 33 out, 3 in from the left touchline. So long pass to Burton. To King, who's going to take the hit up. Doesn't gain much there, but it just sets them up nicely. It's Tarpney in on the tackle there. Middle of the field, it's Salmon. Goes out back to Galvin. Galvin to Tracy, and he's brought down 25 out. They go left. Salmon to Burton. Burton to kick out. Kick out. Trying to get in the gap between Horsburgh and Strange and can't. Horsburgh's calling for a knock on. No call. Salmon, middle of the field. They go right to Galvin. Galvin's going to put the kick in behind. Preston's chasing. Weeks is fast enough to get there, but he's tackled in the in goal. Dropout coming up from the Raiders. People calling for interference. Oh, it's Ethan Sanders! Ethan Sanders clearly sticks an arm out and impedes Jacob Preston. That should be a sin bin as well. Look, he turns his head. He dives at his legs. How is that not a professional foul? Meanwhile, the dropout is trapped by the feet of Burton, 45 out. And so Harry Hayes, who's on the field now. And it's a high tackle. This time it's from Joe Tarpany. Look out. We're going to have a wait. So it's the shot from Tarpany. It's shoulder to the head, but it doesn't look very forceful to me. I'd put that on report, but not much else yet. Good call there. Tarpany's going to come up and whinge. So the Bulldogs are going to take the quick tap at the 30. Hayes takes the hit up again. This time he runs into Hudson Young and is dropped. 25 out. They go left to Galvin. Galvin to King. King out back to Burton. Burton to Crichton. They've got some space. Crichton steps inside Sasungi. He beats Strange. He's brought down 5 out. Noah Martin there. Crichton is incensed at the referee saying there should have been a professional foul. Oh, good shot! Preston put the ball down and the Raiders survive. No, now a late penalty. Very, very late penalty for offside there. That is incredibly suspicious. How long did that... How many infringements are they going to allow the Raiders to get away with here? Obviously, it was coming from the touch judge there. It has to have. Who was the offside player? Did they call it Ethan Sanders? It was such a late call. I can understand why the Raiders would be very frustrated at that. They're going to take the 2. Crichton's got his headgear off. He's got the kicking tee in hand. They're going to take the 2. 4 penalties in 4 minutes. Hudson Young heckling Stephen Crichton here. The referees told him to piss off. While Crichton is setting up to take this penalty goal from about 12 out. A few meters to the right of the uprights, but I can't imagine he's going to have much of an issue with this one here. I'll tell you what, if the Raiders give away any more consecutive set restarts, they might have a second person sitting down. Galvin walking a little bit gingerly. He's having a chat with probably the trainer on the sideline. Crichton rocks, moves in, strikes it, got it. Canterbury have the lead. With the Raiders having a man in the bin, the Bulldogs come up with 2 points. Hudson Young still jawing at Stephen Crichton. Crichton going back at him. This this might get ugly later in the game. I'm going to have a keen eye on this particular matchup. Bang. Ball goes downfield from Weeks. It's going to be fielded in the in-goal by Burton. And Harry Hayes is going to be the one who takes the hit up. And he runs into Simi Sasangi, and he's dropped 8 metres out from his own line. Hit up now taken by Jacob Carraz, and he runs into Horsburgh and Tarpany, and Starling was there as well. He only gains about 3. Max King now with the run, cuts upfield, gets over the 20, looking for the offload, can't get it. Horsburgh was around the ball. He's brought down 22 out now. Jamin Salmon with the run, gets over the 30. He's brought down by Starling and Tarpany on the 4th. Short run, Galvin with the hit up, gets over the 40. Obviously, Burton's going to be the kick option here. Who was it? It was Hudson Young in on the tackle. Burton from his own 40. Sends it downfield. It's going to be caught at the 5 by Xavier Savage. And he's going to cut upfield, try and bounce away from Kikyao. Does, but Crichton's there. He drags him by his shorts back 3 metres. Savage in disbelief that there wasn't a penalty there, and he's limping. Left leg seems to be giving him some trouble. Here comes Tamale, and he spins away from King, but there's 3 Bulldogs there in support. He doesn't gain anything. Here we go. They go left side. Sanders, short ball. Finds Young, but it's a good tackle there. It was Jacob Preston under the ribs on the 4th. They go to Horsburgh, and he gets a offload away, we'll call it, to Weeks, and he's tackled 29 out from his own line too. Not much going for them there. Sanders needs a big kick on this. Can be fielded at the 20 by Connor Tracy. He's going to return to the left side of the 30, dancing. He's brought down 36 out from his own line. It's Noah Martin on the tackle. They go right to Montoya. Montoya's brought down by Sanders and Chris, 41 out. Hayward at dummy half finds Naru Tuala. He runs at Sebastian Chris and crawls over halfway. Now at a dummy half, it's a good run there from Hayward. Hudson Young on the tackle. And Tarpany's there as well on the 4th, 40 metres out from the Raiders line. Galvin in the dummy half goes left to Burton. Burton feigns the kick, goes to kick out. He tries to bounce away from Strange, can't, and then Martin and Sasangi are there to complete the tackle. This is the last, they're 35 out. Galvin is there. He's going to put the bomb up. Carraz is chasing. So is Galvin's there. Oh, he knocks it back straight into the hands of Joe Tarpany. Sorry, it was Connor Tracy who mishandled that one. Now it's Savage. Turns up the middle of the field. Tackled 17 metres out. Tamale with the hit up. It's Preston around the legs, and Galvin's there too. 25 out from their own line on the 2nd. Go right side, it's Sasangi with the hit up. He gets around, kick out. Good move there from Sasangi. Gets over the 40. Tackled 43 out from his own line. They're going to go short right side. This time it's Sebastian Chris and Ethan Strange. Dummies. Puts Crichton on the floor. Goes back towards the middle of the field. Beat Hayward and is eventually brought down by his shoelaces by Harry Hayes. On the 4th, they go to Sanders. Sanders to Tarpany. He feigns left and dances back to the right. Flick past to Chris, who's in the middle of the field. And Chris gets a little bit of space, and he's tackled 25 out from the Bulldogs line on the last. They've gained 60 this set. Starling goes to Sanders. He's going to put the kick up for Xavier Savage. It's going to come down at the 10. It bounces straight into the arms of Stephen Crichton. There were no Raiders there to contest it. Just nothing. So 15 out. It's going to be Montoya who takes the hit up, and he runs into Horsburgh, but gets the offload away to Tracy, and now that finds, is that Galvin or Preston there? They both look the same. It was Preston. No, it wasn't. It was Galvin. Runs taken this time. It was Connor Tracy. He's just over the 30 on the 3rd. They go middle of the field. It's Jamin Salmon to King, and Burton goes straight through. He beat the tackle of Sasangi. It's the chip and chase. Hudson Young is back there. Can he get there in time? It's going to roll over the dead ball line. The end-to-end stuff here, as Weeks is going to bring it out for the tap from the 20, but there's so many Raiders that are slow to get back. their defensive line is essentially set, but Tamale, strong run over the 30 there, gains 12. 6 again, this time it's Sebastian Chris who's going to take the run. He runs directly at Bailey Haywood, which was a mistake. Tackled 38 out, middle of the field. It's Sasangi, who can't get away from kick out, and Crichton's there to help as well. He's only gains about 3. They go left to Strange. Strange to Sanders. Quick pass out to Young. Young throws the double cutout ball to Tamale, who got outside Montoya, then beat the tackle of Montoya, but Tuala was there. Everyone on the Raiders is calling for a high tackle. No call. Tarpany dances, loses meters. Another call for a high tackle and nothing. Just shy of halfway. They go left side, Young. Young out back to Weeks. Weeks, dummies, can't beat Tuala. On the 4th, they're 35 out, about 5 in from the left touchline. It's going to be a hit up from Hudson Young, who tries to get around Galvin. Looking for the offload, can't get it. On the last, they're 25 out. They go short left side. It's Chris who's going to put the left-footed kick in. Tracy is there, and he fires the ball out to Kickow, and Kickow turns upfield and gets the offload from the Strange Sanders tackle, but it's not going to gain them anything, as Corey Horsburgh puts the shoulder into Connor Tracy, and he's tackled 3 out from his own line. Crichton, looking for a gap, beats 1. Good run, gains about 16 meters there. At the 20, Krasnow with the run. Stops. Is stopped by Starling, 25 out on the 3rd. Hayward at a dummy half finds Lachlan Galvin for the hit up again. And he's tackled 38 out from his own line. They go middle of the field. It's Satili Tupanua on the field, and he's tackled by Starling and Tarpany just a few meters shy of halfway. Burton puts it high into the Canberra sky. It comes down to KO Weeks, 8 out from his own line. Does a 360. Tom Starling is clutching his something, maybe his shoulder, ribs. Keep an eye on that here as Savage takes the hit up. I think it'll be his right shoulder that's the problem here as Sasangi tries to put the footwork on. He's tackled 23 out from his own line. There's a few tired Raiders bodies out there. Now it's Tamale takes the hit up, and he backs over the 30 where he's tackled by Kurt Mann, who's on the field, and also Lachlan Galvin. They go right side to Young. Young floats, gives it to Sanders. Sanders gives it to Strange. Strange beats Karaz. Tries to beat Tupanua. Can't. He's tackled 35 out from his own line on the last. Strange claiming a high tackle. A possible poke in the eye, maybe. And we're going to get time off here, as we're going to get an optometrist onto the field to see if Ethan Strange is okay. Let's see. Was it the Burton one or was it the kick-out one that was the issue? I can't really tell. No problems there. They're going to play the ball. On the last, Sanders is going to have to put it downfield. He attempts a torpy, just gets a top spinner, and the bounce beats Montoya. Sebastian Chris is mowing him down. He backs past his own 20, and Tracy there gets the ball, and now it's back to Montoya, and he gets over the 20. Josh Papali'i is back on the field to make that tackle. Hayward goes left to Karaz. He runs into Tom Starling, who's defending at what looks like the halfback position right now. He gets over the 30. Karaz really not liking his left shoulder at the moment. We'll keep an eye on that. As Tuala is tackled 35 out on the 3rd. We go middle of the field. Kurt Mann with the hit up runs at Tom Starling. He's tackled 45 out. On the 4th, they go the right side to Galvin. Galvin fakes inside, goes out to Preston. Preston just gets to the 40. They go left to Burton in the middle of the field. He puts the kick high. It's going to be fielded by Tamale, 8 out. There's 4 Bulldogs jerseys there to meet him, and he's going to be tackled 14, 15 out. He just kept walking forwards. Weeks out of dummy half, gets past Tupanua, gets to the 30. That's a good run there. Chris in a dummy half for the quick play the ball. It's going to be a hit up taken by Hudson Young, I think. I can't tell who that is. No, who's the 17? Is it Morgan Smithies for the Raiders there? As the ball moves to Ethan Strange, he gets away from kick out, can't get away from Tupanua, who makes the tackle. Go middle of the field. The run is going to be taken by I think Zach Hosking was that one. Kick from Sanders is going to be fielded by Tracy 10 out from his own line. He drifts to the middle of the field, where he's met by Young and Papali'i at the 20 and brought down. They go left side to Carraz. Carraz can't beat the tackle of Strange, and he's tackled 29 out. They go right side Galvin, now to Montoya. Montoya is tackled 33 out by Chris and Sanders on the third. They go Harry Hayes now runs at Ethan Sanders, and he gets a hand from the number 17. I think it is Morgan Smithies. They go left. Burton, dummies, gets over halfway on the last. It's Starling there along with Zach Hosking, who's on the field. Galvin puts the kick downfield. It's going to be taken by Tamale, 12 out from his own line. He brings it back towards the center. Preston around his legs stops him just before his own 20. They go right to Chris, and he's brought down quickly. 22 out. They go, this time it's to Xavier Savage, who can't beat Tupanua, and he's brought backwards and basically ends up where he started, with Mann finishing the tackle. Jaden Brayley's on the field now. Starling's off the field. They go right to Papali'i, and he gets over halfway with three people there. It's on the last. Brayley out of dummy half. Appealing for a 6 again, doesn't get one. So Sanders is going to put the kick up. Floats downfield, going to be taken by Montoya on the right side. He runs towards the sideline and is put down by Tamale, 25 out from his own line. Galvin flies the ball into Tuala, and he runs into Hosking and Smithies and is dropped pretty quickly. They go center to Tracy, then to Burton left. Now they go to Carraz. And Carraz runs into Martin and Strange, and Sasangi is there too on the third, 35 out. Mann to Galvin, Galvin to... Oh, Tracy put the ball down. He had a look at Seb Chris, who was right in his face. Rushing defense there from the Raiders forces the error. Just slow ball movement there from the Dogs. Let the Raiders get in position. Yeah, you can just see Connor Tracy have a look. The Raiders need to try and find some points before the end of the half, you'd think. The scrum is in the middle of the field. Feed it. Oh, knock on! Oh, no. Jaden Brayley. That is just unacceptable. The ball got fed. He was passing the ball before he even got it and drops it out of the scrum. That is just a coach killer, because that is a simple exchange. And Brayley is rightfully mad at himself. Now, the scrum is going to be fed in the exact same spot, except now the Bulldogs have the ball, and it's Hayward. He picks it up successfully and passes it to Stephen Crichton, and he's put on the ground 40 out. Hayes with the head up now. There's 6:35 left in the first half. He only gains about 3 meters there. Go right to Galvin. Galvin to Tupanua, and Tupanua bumps off Hudson Young, but he's brought down just shy of halfway. Tupanua clutching at his eye now. It's going to be a kick downfield. Crichton's chasing KO. Weeks is back there. It's a kick for field position. You think Weeks took an age to pick it up. Kick out. Beat Mann. Drifts to the left side. Eventually brought down by Preston and Galvin, 21 out from his own line. Middle of the field this time, it's Tamale. He can't beat Hayes and Galvin and Tupanua on that tackle. Brayley in the dummy half. Passes the ball properly. Ball finds, is that Simi Sasangi there? Oh, now Hudson Young's put the ball down. Oh, Hudson Young is bleeding from the back of his head. That's two just poor errors here from the Raiders. and they're putting the pressure on themselves. What hit Hudson Young in the back of the head, I wonder? A couple of miserable Canberra fans there in the cold and wet. Middle of the field, the trainer slipped over trying to get off the field. Fine. So Crichton takes the hit up off the scrum, gets over the 30. Canterbury in good position here. They go middle of the field to Harry Hayes, who takes the hit up. He runs into Hosking and Smithies, and Papali'i is also there. He's stopped 20 out on the second. They're set up to the right. They go to Galvin. Galvin back inside to Mann. Mann gets tackled by a few Raiders and Bailey Hayward. So on the third, they go right again to Galvin. Galvin short to Preston. Preston running at Ethan Sanders. They're really liking that matchup. And Preston backing towards the line. Preston, 2 meters out, is finally put on his back on the fourth. They're set up to the left. Long pass to Tracy. Tracy dummies, goes himself. Can't beat Papali'i on the last good tackle there in front of the posts. They go left to Mann. Mann to Galvin. Galvin puts the grubber kick in. Savage is there to cover it. Now, can he get out? Savage running behind the posts. Gives up on the chase. Gives Lockie Galvin a tap on the back of the head. And it's going to be another dropout coming from the Raiders here. Lockie Galvin is incredibly active in this game. That's what you'd like to see. Kick goes down the field. It goes 50 on the fly where it's fielded by Burton. And Burton eventually gets the ball into Harry Hayes, and he's going to be tackled 41 out by Noah Martin and Zach Hosking there. Burton from dummy half finds Viliami Kikau, and he also runs into Noah Martin, but this time it's Jaden Brayley with the help at the 30. Man, short Tupanua. Tupanua's got Sanders in his face. Sanders is fighting in contact. You like to see that from the young halfback. They go left to Burton. Burton to Galvin. Galvin turns Kikau underneath. He runs back towards the post, but this time Brayley and Hosking are there on the fourth. 3 minutes left. Man, out back to Galvin. Galvin to Tracy. Tracy cut out Belder Montoya, who got outside Tamale. Cuts back in. Is going to be dragged towards the sideline. That's going to be a penalty. He was stopped. That was a brain snap by Hudson Young, dragging him over the sideline on the right. He was pretty clearly stopped. It's good play from the Dogs, but good cover defense here from the Raiders. But he's stopped there. He's stopped there and they keep it moving. He's pretty clearly held. So now the tap is going to be 12 meters out, where you're going to have a hit up taken by Tupanua after 2 passes. He's stopped 8 meters out, dead center. Brayley at dummy half. There's 2:20 left. They go left to Hayes playing first receiver, and he's brought down 5 out. With Papali'i under him. It's Galvin Preston. He huge tackle. Zach Hosking saves a try. On the third, they go left to Galvin. Galvin double pumps, finds Burton. Burton to kick out. They got the numbers. Kick out. Look left. He put the ball down. That is a bombed try, but another penalty goes against the Raiders, this time for a high tackle. That is penalty number 6 against the Raiders. And yeah, it's a high tackle. Strange jumps to hit Kikau in the head. That is just a brain fade there. He's clearly frustrated. 8 meters out, the tap goes from Kikau to Hayward. Hayward goes to Hayes in the middle of the field. He's tackled 8 meters out, but dead center. There's 80 seconds left. Hayward goes left to Galvin. Galvin turns Kikau underneath. Weeks is in that tackle, along with Noah Martin and Ethan Strange there. Kikau slow to get up. Hayward out of dummy half goes to Burton. They go right to Galvin. Galvin dummies. Galvin brought down 7 out by Papali'i, who's there. Hayward. They go right to Tracy. Tracy short to Preston. They can't find a way through. This Raiders defense is holding. There's 40 seconds left. They go left. It's Tracy in the middle of the field. Moves to Galvin. Galvin. Long ball. Finds Dirt. Then finds Carraz, who cuts back towards Strange. And he's eventually stopped by Martin. Oh, he got the offload away, but the tackle was called. It was called held, so Carraz has to go back and play it on the last. Burton is there. Burton puts the bomb up. Preston's going to be underneath it. It may have gone too deep. It's knocked back. It was Chris who got hands to it. He knocks it back into the hands of Tamale, who runs out the dead ball area. And that, I think, is going to take us to half-time. Excellent defense here from the Canberra Raiders. Just under immense pressure for basically that final 10 minutes. And it is pouring down at GIO Stadium as the players head into the sheds. 8-6 Canterbury lead. This is a slogfest. Defensive masterclass there from the Raiders. Now the question becomes, will they have the energy to mount any sort of attacking flair in the second half? And if you're the Dogs, you almost have to be disappointed you didn't come away with more points with the mountain of possession that you had in that first half. Have a look at these stats. I feel like I would be surprised if Canterbury have had less than 60% of the ball. Let me have a look at this. Team stats. Fox has them at 54%. I don't believe that for a second. There is no way that Canberra have had that much ball. They've done incredibly well considering they're getting every penalty under the sun blown against them.
The one on kick out was a laugh. Man, he just fell over like he just been shot. He hardly got touched.
You're fine with Papali'i getting binned? I am.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that
Probably
one.
lucky it wasn't a send-off, to be fair.
Well, I think you can say because the Horsburgh contact brought him down a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't like reckless intentional contact.
And then Tarpany did one, but his one, he was ducking into it a little bit. Which
Exactly, which I was fine with the on report there. That's
he probably
fine.
won't get much out of that. Papali'i might.
Papali'i might, yeah. That might be the most embarrassing error from Jaden Brayley that I've ever seen.
Didn't see it. I'm sorry. I was busy.
They packed a scrum, and he dropped the ball picking it up at the back of the scrum.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
It's not great. Yes, that's why he was on -1 on my fantasy, which he's only on my emergencies anyway, so...
How is my team looking? I've got Noah Martin, who's on 24.
Yeah.
Ethan Sanders is on 29, and of course it's the week that I put him in my emergencies. I hate this thing. It's
Tamale's
stupid.
going alright.
Yeah, Tamale's pretty good.
He's
We
on
know this.
35, I think. At that rate, he'll make 70, which I think is pretty good.
The biggest thing that's happened so far is Artavalo Lasati's been ruled out of the Melbourne game.
I think they'll have enough people to cover that, though.
He's out for a month.
What happened to him?
Calf thing.
No, that sucks.
So, yeah, as if they didn't already have a dearth of second rowers. Who's going to go in? Because they still don't have Blore.
Yeah, of course they don't have...
Is it Cooper Clark that's going to have to play there?
Maybe it'll be a next man up thing. I don't think Melbourne will lose.
They'll probably be fine, but that still sucks.
Yeah.
Because I like
It's never great to lose somebody to injury ever. Like, Pacific Atomic getting
Oh, yeah, that
neck
was
injury
nuts.
at
That
training.
came out earlier today.
That's like the worst.
Must be a Dragons thing. It seems to happen to Dragons players a lot. Like, it's happened to Harney Selly, it happened to Farmanu Brown while he was there.
Happened to a Melbourne player when he wasn't playing for Melbourne.
True. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting game.
It's
very
well, when you're playing in a deluge, it is bucketing.
Yeah, not great. Oh, no.
Been summoned. I also nearly fell over.
This game is about as close as I expected it to be. So I guess we will see how the second half plays out. Maybe Canterbury will just have that much more energy because of the lack of defense that they've had to do in this one.
Back. Cool. The NBL that no one cares about. Is this a show between all the different footy codes? I have no idea what this is. Look for maybe a couple of explosions with Jamin Salmon and Stephen Crichton and Hudson Young, especially with the frustration the Raiders have had so far. Hudson Young may get a bit of a red mist going. Yeah, just a mountain of possession for the Dogs so far. That penalty count is nuts. The Raiders really need to clean it up in the second half if they want to have any form of chance in this one. Has the NRL fixed its website yet? Nope, it's still down. Good job. Full credit to the Raiders' defense. Matter of how long they can keep this up. I guess I could look at the Fox stats, but they're always a little bit more unreliable. Let's have a look here. Savelio Tamale leads the Raiders with 120 running meters. For the Dogs, it's Stephen Crichton leading with 76. Most of the Raiders have had a lot more of their meters come from their backs, yet none of their starting forwards have over 50 meters. The Bulldogs have 3 forwards over 50 meters. Happily, you might miss a couple of weeks for that one, eh? Yeah, Bulldogs 54% of the ball. They've run about 110 more meters. They've broken more tackles, though. The Raiders have broken more tackles, and their post-contact, at least per run, is slightly better. So their forwards are doing well, because they've had a bunch of penalties that they keep conceding, so they need to find a way to stop that from occurring, at least. Interesting second half we've got coming up. I don't know what to think. I guess we will see how it all plays out. I am going to get some drink. sponsored by Pepsi. Yet. No, I don't think I'd ever do that. Yeah, so. It's a banshee outside. Speaking of, I'm pretty sure my room is haunted. Random stuff just keeps happening. Disembodied presences. It's bloody Telstra ad. I'd appreciate them playing into the meme if it weren't so freaking annoying. Harmonica. I have to find harmonica somewhere. Here it is, yay! Harmonica that I had bought for a bit and then never actually did. Maybe I'll do it later, but like. Such a good instrument, man. I love it. It's great. Focus, thank you. Why is Ethan Sanders on 30 fantasy points? That's what's pissing me off. Like, he scored like crap. He's scored the equivalent of what he did last week in one half of football. So, to be fair, I don't think I trust, because the fantasy app operates from obviously the NRL stats, and the NRL site is like not great right now. Who's got 8? Oh, Karaz. Everybody picked up Karaz this week. Oh no. Well, I nearly did too. I picked up Cleary instead. I'm very, very happy I did that. Maybe I'll catch up some ranks on a bunch of people this week. Now, how highly owned is Karaz? It's nearly 20%. Ooh, I could definitely make up some ranks by avoiding Jacob Karaz. Guess we'll see how that all goes. Because Lord knows I need the help. I'm at 68,000 right now. I started so badly. Like from round 1 to round 2, I gained 18,000 ranks. Which means by that logic I should be in first place in week 6. Sounds good to me. As the Bulldogs run back out onto this now incredibly damp GIO stadium. And here come the Raiders. The Fox AI Try Predictor says 50-50. Thanks. I still don't know where they get this number from because it's almost always wrong. I do not trust that thing at all. It's a stupid thing. I don't get it. I feel like they call this AI when it's not AI. It's just an algorithm. I feel like people get that confused. And when people do that, the real AI that's the problem, the generative AI, and large language models as well, because of all their freaking data centers, is going to get lost. Alrighty. It is bucketing down. Jaden Brayley could barely see. And we are back underway. A kick flies downfield, it's fielded by Karaz. And the first hit up's going to be taken by Harry Hayes. He runs into Martin and Sasangi and Hosking, and Papali'i is there too, and he's stopped 15 out from his own line. Karaz now with the hit up. Looking. Got the offload to Hayward. He gets the ball to Hayes again, and he's stopped 20 out. There's not much there, and a risky play. Chupanua middle of the field now. He's got Brayley around the legs, and then Smithies and Papali'i over the top. So they go left to Burton. He's going to put the kick downfield. And it's going to find the grass and fielded by Weeks about 3 out from his own line. He trucks it forward and stopped 12 out by Jacob Preston and Nari Tuala. Tamale with the hit up. He runs back at Preston. He's stopped 25 out. See if they can get some momentum here. The Raiders set Chris with the run. It's over the 30. Everyone's back on side. It's going to be Xavier Savage with the hit up now, and he runs at Kurt Mann and Viliama Kickout, and he's pushed back along this wet turf to the 35. They go right to Papali'i, who takes the hit up. He's not going to be pushed. Oh, he actually beats a couple. Papali'i. Good run there from the big fella. He stopped a few meters shy of halfway on the last. Sanders going to put the kick downfield. Tracy's underneath it, and he takes it 11 meters out, and he drifts to the middle. Now to the right side of the field. Beats Hudson Young, gets the pass to Montoya, who cuts inside and is brought down by Morgan Smithies. Going now to run by Inari Tuala, gets over the 20, and he's stopped by Hudson Young. Montoya, he runs, he's stopped shy of the 30 by, that's Brayley and Papali'i. Left to Burton, Burton to Kiraz. Kiraz runs at Martin and Smithies. Strange is around the legs, but he backs over the 40. That's a good run from Kiraz. They go right to Tracy in the middle of the field, and he gets over halfway and is eventually stopped on the last. Burton puts the kick downfield. It's higher than it is long, so it's caught in the air by Xavier Savage. Pretty good in these conditions. About 22 out from his own line. Now Sasangi with the head up, beat Crichton and got over the 30. That's a good run. So the Raiders look to work into this second half. Now through Tamale. And he stopped just shy of the 40 with Preston around the legs. Brayley goes right to Strange. Strange goes to Martin, who throws the dummy. Can't quite get away from Crichton, but certainly bounced, and he's stopped just shy of halfway on the 4th. Hosking with the hit up. Tripped up by Tupanua on the last. Left to Sanders. Kick goes up. Fielded by Tracy. High tackle, surely. There it is. I don't know who they're calling the high tackle against. It might be against Hudson Young. But penalty Dogs. I think they'll call it on Sebastian Chris, I think. Yeah, just slid up. Not much you can really do there. Now the kick goes down. It's going to be marked 25 out from the Dogs' line. As the Bulldogs' 7th penalty in a row. Can't wait to hear the press conference after this as Harry Hayes now is tackled middle of the field. Oh, Smithies is groggy as Galvin now takes the hit up. He tries to beat Hudson Young and is eventually put down. About 3 meters his own side of halfway. They go left to Mann. Mann to Burton. Burton dummies, finds a gap past Strange. Martin was there to slow him down, but not before the offload to Karaz. Not Karaz, to Kickout, and he stopped 40 out from the Raiders' lines. Now they move to the right. Short ball. Tupanua is decked by Hudson Young. 30 out on the last. They go left to Burton. He's going to put the bomb up for Karaz. Savage is there. He juggled it and came down with it. So close there from Savage now as Sasangi tries to get them rolling, and he only gains about 2 meters there. As they go to Tamale for the hit up, and he's hit and stopped by Jacob Preston on the third. There are only 12 out. Good defense here from the Dogs. Chris with the run. That's the better one. Gain of 10. That's the one they needed here. And I mean, half it's Brayley. Brayley dashes, gets over the 30, and he's stopped by Galvin. Quick play the ball. Finds Sanders. He's going to try and go for a 40-20, it looks like, but Montoya was awake to it, and he fields it 15 out. Brings it back towards the middle of the field. It's a pass to Tracy, and he can't beat Chris. So they're 20 out from their own line here, the Dogs on the first. Montoya's going to take the hit up to the right side, and he's stopped pretty quickly there by Jaden Brayley. Now middle to Burton, they go left to Crichton. Good grief. Crichton gets over the 30 until he's stopped by Martin and Sasangi. He's telling him to go back, play it on the mark, Crichton, play it on the mark. They go middle of the field, it's Kurt Mann with the hit up, and he cuts back towards the markers, which is brought down by Hosking and Sasangi. They go right to Galvin. Galvin to Tupanua, and he gets 2 halfway on the last. So Burton's in position for the kick. He's going to put it downfield. It's a torpedo! Oh no, he didn't really get a hold of it. It's tumbling forwards though. And Savage makes a great catch and beats 2 and runs at Haywood and is eventually stopped with the help of Kurt Mann at the 20. But Tamale has to try and beat 5 Dogs defenders and loses a couple of meters there. Now it's Sasagi, and he's going to be dragged back as well. The Raiders kind of look dead in the water right now. On the third, they're 22 out. Martin from dummy half finds Zach Hosking, and he has to try and gain some meters. On the fourth, he's tackled 25 out. Just nothing going for them here. So they're going to spread it left through Strange to Chris. Tries to cut past Tuala, but can't, and is dropped with the help of Preston and Galvin there. Gain of 20 in that set. So Sanders is going to have to find something. He tries to put a torpedo down and gets a decent spin on it, just not a lot of distance, and it bounces directly into the hands of Connor Tracy, who brings back over the 30. And runs into Hudson Young. He's stopped 35 out from his own line. The Dogs are winning the field position battle now. Montoya takes the hit up, dropped before he even reaches the 40. Good tackle there, Brayley. And go left to Carraz. And he's going to take the run, and he runs into Noah Martin. And is eventually stopped a couple shy of halfway. Haywood in there. Goes right to Mann. Mann out back to Galvin. Galvin turns Preston underneath, and Preston cuts and runs and is eventually stopped just shy of the Raiders 40 on the fourth. They go left to Tupanua for the hit up, and he's stopped at 30. Gain of 44. So it's going to be a kick from Burton. Crichton won't get under it. Savage again, great take. He's stopped at the 10. He's had great hands tonight so far considering the conditions. Sasangi, good run. Beat a tackle. Got the quick play the ball. Now it's going to be Tamale, and he beats the marker, and he's going to get to 30. Now the Raiders are starting to move. This is the third. They go left to Hudson Young, and Young runs into Galvin and drops quickly, but not after gaining about 9 meters. Now it's Brayley to Hosking. Hosking short to Smithy. Smithy's looked for the offload, bobbled it, eventually held onto it. Just shy of halfway. That was a better set from the Raiders. 6 again on the last. Coach killer there for the Dogs. Hudson Young beat Galvin. Hip drop maybe. Young very slow to get up. His right ankle's giving him a lot of problem. Meanwhile, they go left side to Weeks. Weeks goes to Chris, who puts the ball down. Hudson Young still hasn't left his knees. Is it Galvin? It's tough. He's behind him. He does lose his legs. On report, maybe? No indication from the referee that there's going to be any further action. scrum. They go left to Crichton. Crichton, dummies. Can't quite beat Strange. He's tackled 35 out. Burton now. Ball goes to Tracy. Tracy goes to Man, who slips, for lack of a better word, and is stopped at the 40 by Jaden Brayley and Zach Hosking. Tupanua now with the head up, and he's put the ball down. Canberra hit right back by forcing an error. That's what you want to see. The Raiders are playing with such tenacity right now. Who forced the error? It's the shot. I think it's the shot by Smithies that jolts the ball free. It may have been a high tackle. The Raiders are going to have their best chance of the second half now. After 10 minutes. They go left. It's Chris. He's stopped 41 out. Middle of the field. Set restart. Now they turn it underneath for Martin. And Martin's brought down by Kikau and Burton. 35 out. Fade right. Go left from Brayley to Hosking over the 30. And he's brought down by Hayes and Mann in the middle of the field. 26 out. They go right to Sanders. Sanders goes to Martin again. Martin can't quite beat the rampaging Viliami Kikau, and Burton's there as well. He stopped at the 20. They go left to Sanders. Sanders drifts, finds Strange on the left. They go to Weeks. Weeks double pumps, tap on from Chris to Tamale. He can't get inside Tuala on the 4th. They're 11 out. Hudson Young from dummy half looking to score. He stopped 3 out on the last. They're set up to go right. They go to Sanders. Sanders puts the grubber kick in. It's going to have too much weight on it. And the pressure is relieved on the Dogs. Crichton's going to bring it out for the quick tap. Finds Tracy, who has to step away from Strange, and is eventually stopped at the 30 by Zach Hosking with Morgan Smithies' help. Montoya with the head up runs back at Hosking and Smithies, but this time Brayley's there to help as well. He only gains about 7. Salmon's back on the field now. He's leveled. It's Ethan Strange made big contact there. They go right side to Galvin. Galvin short to Hayes, and Hayes is cut down quickly by Young at halfway. Quick play the ball. They go short right side to Galvin. Galvin to Preston. Preston is put on his backside by Sebastian Chris. On the 4th. Long ball, middle of the field, Salmon. Salmon goes to Tupanua, and he can't beat the tackle of Martin. They're 30 out on the last. Left to Burton. He's going to put the bomb up again. Looking for Savage again. It's tap backwards in the hands of Viliami Kikau. He tried to put the kick in and dropped it. It's fallen on by the Raiders. Xavier Savage is not very healthy right now by the looks. As Tamale tries to gain some post contact. As Atamariotta has come onto the field for the Raiders. And he's about to take a hit up here. Runs at Galvin and Preston and powers over the 20. That's a good run there from Mariotta. They needed that. The run now by Tamale trying to find some space. Bounces off Salmon. Man finishes the tackle on the 30. This is the 4th. They go right side to Sanders. 6 again. To Martin. Now it goes to Sasangi, who put the moves on Stephen Crichton. Martin's there again. He's tackled just shy of halfway. Savage. They find Strange. They got the momentum now. Strange over the 40. He's eventually brought down by Karaz. Penalty. Sin bin, surely. No sin bin. Karaz pleads his case with the referee to no avail. But penalty to the Raiders. And they're going to have, again, another good attacking opportunity here. What a move from Simi Sasangi. He broke Stephen Crichton's ankles. And then, yeah, you can see as Karaz pulls his arms out, he plays at the ball. So the kick found touch 15 out. So Strange gives it to Sanders. Sanders goes to Mariotta in the middle of the field, and he's going to be brought down 13 out by, that looks like Harry Hayes. Hosking, Smithies, spins to Sanders. Sanders goes to Sasangi, and Sasangi can't beat Crichton this time. and he stopped on the second, 8 out. They go to Strange to Sanders. Sanders face ball goes to Mariota. They're using him while he's on the field, and he's stopped dead center 7 meters out. Brayley, they go left to Sanders. Sanders goes short. Young's gonna score, is he? Did he get there? He's claiming it. The Dogs seem not very happy with it. We're gonna go upstairs. This try might put the Raiders in front. Let's see. So, Hudson Young tries to reach. He's dropped the ball. He knocked the ball on into Connor Tracy. Try-saving play there from Connor Tracy. Wonderful play, Connor Tracy. Preserves the Dogs' lead. Not going out to the 20, we're staying at the 10, surely. It wasn't over the line. Hudson Young claiming that he played at the ball. Why are we going to the 20? He was short of the line. What? Anywho, it's a 20-meter tap. Man takes it, and he gives it to Montoya. And Hudson Young, laid off like there, finds Tracy over the 30. And Tracy runs into Mariota and is eventually stopped on the first, but that was a 15-meter play. King's back on the field for the Dogs now, and he runs into Mariota and Hosking and Martin, and he's stopped 42 past his own goal line. Now the run here from Salmon gets over halfway. Out of dummy half, it's Kurt Mann, gets over the 40. Good run there from Kurt Mann. They go right to Salmon. Salmon out back to Galvin. Galvin to Tracy. Tracy. Sebastian Chris is in his face. Can't complete the tackle, but it stopped the pass, and eventually he's brought down 32 out on the last. Short right side to Galvin, who puts the bomb up. Crichton's there. So is Mann. Good timing there. Good tackle. No, that was Preston, sorry. He tackles Tamale 2 out from his own goal line. Savage gains maybe 3. He just didn't get driven back. That was more important. Dummy half now, it's Sasungi. And he's brought down by Kikau and Burton. 13 out on the third. Weeks. Savage wraps around late and runs to the short side, and he gets to the 25. That ends up being a pretty good run there on the fourth. Martin from dummy half finds Corey Horsburgh, who's back on the field, and Tupanua tries to send a message to him immediately, but he just walks to the 40. Good set there from the Raiders. Sanders boots it downfield. Caught by Montoya, 15 out. Returns it over his own 20. Comes to Ethan Strange and is brought down with the help of Hosking, 22 out. Galvin, go right to Tuala. Oh, good low tackle there. Hudson Young around the legs. He keeps the game to like 3. Tracy. Another good tackle around the legs. This time it was Hosking at the 30 on the third. This is good defense from the Raiders. Burton's going to look for a 40-20. Oh my goodness, he can't get a second. Nope, it curled back infield. It's fielded by Weeks, who gets away from Carraz. Running away from Curran over the 20. Weeks stumbles and slides all the way on the left side of the field to the 30. That's a good return there from Weeks. Tamale. Going to be met by 4 Bulldogs to bring him down for a gain of about 5. On the second, Horsburgh gets the ball. He tucks and runs into the shoulder of Jamin Salmon. He stays on his feet. Plays the ball. You go right to Sasungi. Sasungi gets over halfway. He's brought down by Curran and Mann. On the fourth. Middle of the field, Horsburgh out back to Sanders. Sanders shows. He's going to take the tackle on the fourth from Galvin. So on the last, it's Strange who's going to have to put the kick up. He gets it rotating forwards. It's caught by Carraz, 7 out. He's going to return it past his own 10. Facing a wall of Raiders, he passes it to the right to Tracy, who sticks his nose through and is brought down at the 20. Galvin from dummy half finds Montoya, and he runs into Hosking and Horsburgh and is brought down after a gain of about 7 on the second. They go left to Burton to kick out, who didn't look particularly ready to take that, so he offloads it back to Burton. That finds Galvin. Galvin goes to King. We know he's not going to pass, so he just takes the Hudson Young tackle. They go middle of the field. This time it's Jamin Salmon, who's tackled a few short of halfway by Horsburgh and Mariotta. They go right to Galvin. Galvin. Drop the ball. Big shot. Hudson Young forces the error. The strong defense is keeping Canberra in this match. And that's going to feel good if you're Hudson Young. Look at this shot. It's just one-on-one. Boom. Hits the top of the ball. Squirts it out down onto the ground. And the Raiders again in good field position. And Hudson Young lets him know about it too. That is going to be a sick feeling if you're a halfback. So 45 out. The scrum is fed. They go left. It's picked up well by Brayley. And Chris is going to be tackled just shy halfway on the first. Middle of the field's going to be a hit up by Savelio Tamale. He gains about 7 on the second. Go right to Hosking. Hosking, he's not thinking about passing. He's just thinking about getting behind the markers. And he's tackled at the Bulldogs 30 on the third. They go left to Sanders. Sanders goes short to Mariotta. Hosking's going to come from the field. I imagine Tarpany is about to come back on. They go left again to Sanders. Sanders going to put the kick in, looking for Weeks. It's charged down. 6 more. 6 more for the Raiders after the charge down, but I think it was Josh Curran. So Young going to take it from dummy half, feeds it back to Sebastian Chris, and Chris is going to power towards the line. How has he not scored? How in the world has he not scored that? We're going to play on. Tamale from dummy half finds Young. Young shows, runs at Salmon. He's going to be stopped a few meters out on the third. Brayley's bleeding from his cheek in at dummy half. He goes to Sanders. Sanders drifts across to Strange. Strange puts the kick in. It's towed at. Offside! It was played at by... Oh no, okay, so they're just going to call it the knock on. Kurt Mann saying I didn't touch it. How is that not a penalty? How did Sebastian Chris not score? Try-saving play. Inari Tuala got his hands around the ball. So it was played at... It was Viliami kick-out. Oh, kick-out fell over and used his forearm to block it. Okay. So that's where the knock-on call is from. So dead center, 18:23 left in the game. Dead center, 8 meters out. The scrum. They go left to Strange. Strange dummies. Off the left foot twice. Is cornered by Jacob Preston, 9 meters out on the first. Brayley. So Horsburgh. Horsburgh short to Tarpany, who's back on the field. Tripped up by kick-out. He's in front of the posts. They go left to Sanders. Sanders. Oh, Hudson Young left it behind and then got laid out by Jacob Preston. And the frustration continues for the Raiders. That's just... Communication just wasn't there. I don't think Hudson Young was ready for that pass. Hudson Young tried to cut back inside on that line while catching the ball and just hit his outside shoulder. He didn't have a chance to come up with that. So now the ball will be fed into the scrum 10 out from the Dogs line by the Dogs this time. And Crichton cuts back upfield, runs it Strange and powers forward for an extra 5 meters. Joe Tarpany's copped a cleat to the face, I think. He's down in back play as Kickout gets the offload to absolutely nobody, and it's picked up by Stephen Crichton on the ground. Now there's a late shot there, I thought. Play's still going on, even though Tarpany is down. And now it's a penalty to the Dogs. And Stephen Crichton is slow to get up. What has happened here? Oh, he's copped the foot of Stephen Crichton to the face, has Joe Tarpany. And yeah, that did hurt. And then the call, it was a late tackle penalty, I think. Oh, the late shot there from Mariotta after the play had been called dead. That's what that penalty is for. That was a shot right in the kidneys. Tarpany's bleeding from his nose. He looks in a fair bit of discomfort. He might have a busted nose. Is he going to have to come off the field again? Yeah, Papa's getting ready to come back on for his, I guess, technically third stint of the day. Yep, off comes Tarpany. I think he might have a broken nose. That's lovely. Time back on as the penalty kick from Dogs is marked 5 shy of halfway. So, there's 16:45 left. Kick out off the tap. Gets past Martin, but Martin comes back to seconds, and with the help of Papali'i and Strange is tackled at the Raiders' 40. That was a good run. Curran cuts upfield, and he's stopped after a gain of about 6. Mariota around his legs and Martin in the tackle. They go right side to Burton. Burton goes to King, and King pushes over the 30. Dogs in good position now on the 3rd. They go left side to Burton. Burton for dummies and gets leveled by Mariota in the middle of the field, 18 metres out on the 4th. Hayward goes left to Galvin. Galvin goes out back to Tracy. Tracy dummies. He shows it to Crichton and has stopped 11 out on the last, 10 in from the left touchline. Hayward goes to Galvin, who's going to put up the bomb. It's going to be knocked on by Sebastian Chris, 6 again. Yeah, first knock on Raiders is the call there. So, can it? Here we go. The Dogs are calling for a middle of the field scrum. They've got to have something planned here. Watch for a late shift maybe from Crichton to create the extra number. Crichton's currently sitting on the left. They're going to go to the right side through Burton. Burton now back to Tracy. Tracy beats Chris. Tracy looking for space. Tracy! Stopped half a metre shy. KO Weeks saves a try. Hayward at the dummy half goes to Galvin. They go left to King. King dummies. Runs into Noah Martin, and Stephen Crichton is incensed that he didn't get the ball there. On the 2nd, they go left to Burton. Burton dummies. Tries to find the gap. Weeks is there again, this time with the help of Josh Papali'i to make the tackle. Hayward fakes to go short left side, now goes to the right through Salmon and then to Galvin, and Galvin dummies and cuts back towards the middle of the field. Dead in front of the posts, 12 metres out, 4th tackle. They go left to Salmon. Salmon to Burton. Burton puts the grubber kick through. There's some contact in back. There's some contact there. It's tapped dead by the Raiders. Burton is claiming for an escort. So is Stephen Crichton. And they want a challenge. Here comes the challenge. So it's going to be a challenge by the Dogs for an escort against, I think it's going to be Simi Sasangi on that side. Let's have a look. They've called Simi Sasangi. All he's doing is bracing for contact. He was turning to get back to the ball. Ball's taken dead off the hands of Xavier Savage. Unsuccessful challenge from the Dogs. Good call there from the referee. There's 14:08 left. Time is just starting to run out for the Raiders here. Sanders. He goes short-ish. Savage is there. Ball's tapped forward by Ethan Strange. It found no man's land. It was a good one. Strange just couldn't come up with it. It probably should have been a penalty against Xavier Savage. Okay, so scrum, centre field, 20 out. 13:33 left. Galvin's feeding it from the left side. Burton set up on the right. They go left to Crichton. And that ball was so slow in the scrum that the Raiders broke early. They're going to repack the scrum. That's a good idea. Just feed the ball really slowly. You'll catch them basically every time, I think. Galvin, they're going to set it. They're going to repack the scrum, middle of the field. Galvin again feeding from the left. They're set up on the right side, it looks like. Nope, they're going to go back to the left. It finds Crichton. Crichton beats Sasangi, but Strange was there to finish the tackle 15 out. Hayward. They go middle of the field right to Galvin. Now it's Curran who takes the tackle 12 out. No real gain there, but they're in the middle of the field now. They've got options both ways. They're going to go right to King. He's not going to pass. You're going to know he's going to run at Mariotta and Papali'i, and he's stopped 5 meters out on the third. They're going to go right side, short to Curran. Good tackle, KO Weeks. Nothing there. KO Weeks has been amazing defensively this match. They go left to Galvin. Galvin to Burton. Burton to kick out. Kick out is put down by Sasangi on the last good shot. This is great defense. Burton's going to put the kick up for Carraz. Comes up with it. Bats it back. It's a knock on from Jacob Carraz, and the Raiders survive again. I think Carraz was probably offside anyway. The Raiders' defense has been shining this entire night. What a shot. A couple of massive plays there. And yeah, there's the knock on. It came out of Carraz's hands and hit Ethan Strange. But now, can the Raiders find any manner of points? Papali'i takes the first hit up and he's driven back. He gained maybe 1 meter in total there. They go left. It's Sasangi. He put the bumper up into Bailey Hayward. He's tackled just 18 meters out. Now Tamale. Around the legs there was Curran. He's about 22 out. Now they go middle of the field. Horsburgh dummies to absolutely nobody. And now he gets a very late offload to Brayley, and he goes to Sanders. They go left to Young. Young tries to palm away from Preston. Can't, and he's stopped 32 out on the fourth. Hit up going to be taken by Mariotta, who bumps off Curran, beats 1-2 Mariotta, and then drop the ball. Raiders calling for 6 again, 6 again, 6 again, nothing. So Sanders has to put the kick downfield. And it's fielded by Montoya, 10 out. Returns it to 20, and he's going to run into a big shot from Corey Horsburgh. 25 out, and he's eventually brought down. Cut inside, it's Carraz. He gets some good post contact there. He's tackled 35 out. Was there. That should have been a knock on against the Raiders. They were very lucky to not be pinned in their own end again. Oh, the hit up there from Tuala. Gets the fly shy halfway. Kick gets over halfway. And he's tackled by Martin and Horsburgh. Hayward up the middle goes Connor Tracy. He's got support. It's Lachlan Galvin. Try-saving tackle from Hudson Young. But there has to be space somewhere. Hayward's going to go right to Curran. Curran goes short to Preston, who scores. And the Raiders finally break. And it's Jacob Preston who scores under the posts. And this is going to be a 2-score game with less than 10 minutes left. You felt this try was a long time coming here for the Dogs. They had just been pounding and pounding and pounding, and eventually the Raiders had to break. And off the line break from Connor Tracy, it was just simple ball movement that finds Jacob Preston. Papali'i couldn't stop him. And you can tell the Bulldogs knew that was a big moment. Sebastian Chris who fell off that tackle. And there's a lot of tired Raiders out there right now. So Crichton's going to have a kick from dead in front to make this an 8-point game. Jacob Preston has 100% try-scoring rate against the Raiders. That's a fun stat for you. Yeah, just simple. It's a bad miss from Chris, but you felt that he probably wasn't going to stop him anyway. Right. Actually, not from dead in front, more like a meter inside the left upright. It's good. 14-6. 8:05 left for the Raiders to find anything. They just seemed too tired. It was Corey Horsburgh who was lazy getting back from marker that caused that line break. And yeah, they just left so many Raiders in their wake. Jacob Preston is having the time of his life. What a player he is. Do you think the Raiders will go short? I think they have to, right? What are they going to do? Ricky Stewart sitting on the sideline chewing gum. They go long. Fielded by Galvin. And now the run by Max King. And he runs into Corey Horsburgh and is driven back with the help of Papali'i. They go in the middle of the field. It's Montoya with the run now, and he's stopped by 3 Raiders, including Noah Martin and Jaden Brayley. Kick out with the hit up around the legs is Noah Martin, with Horsburgh over the top. That's a good tackle. On the 3rd, middle of the field, it's Curran now. They're starting to get a roll on. He put the bumper up and sent Mariota flying, but eventually stopped by Papali'i on the 4:35 out. Tracy up the middle of the field now, tackled by Brayley 5 shy of halfway. This is the last. Burton's going to put the kick downfield. Can be fielded. 7 out by Savage, who fires the ball infield to Weeks, and Weeks is a good run. Stopped 17 out. Now the run going to be taken by Savage, and he steps off the left and then the right, and is stopped by kick out 25 out. Strange from dummy half finds Sasangi. And Sasangi is stopped by Burton 35 out with the help of Max King. They go left to Sanders. Sanders out back to Strange. Strange goes to Weeks. Weeks steps inside, beats 1, 2 Weeks, 3 Weeks. And then a month, he's stopped at halfway. Brayley goes short left side to Young. Young goes out back to Strange. Strange looking for the offload. Gets it to Chris. Chris beats 1. Gets the offload to Hudson Young. It's going to be a try to Savelio Tamale. And the Raiders are back in it immediately. They go the length of the field, and now there's a kick from Ethan Sanders to make this a 2-point game. Just completely against the run of play, the Raiders. Hudson Young. But that's just keeping the ball alive. That's keeping the ball alive, and eventually gaps are going to form. Now this is a big kick from Sanders. We know he can kick 1-point field goals. Can he kick a 2-pointer if he can get this conversion? It's on the bad, because it's on the left side for a left footer. How far in does he bring? He didn't bring it in that far. This is a massive kick for the young halfback. Tries confirmed. 5.5 minutes left. Savelio Tamale, what a night. 2 tries, 7 tackle busts, over 200 meters. He looks back in last year's form now. The Raiders win games like this. We know they win games like this. It's just a matter of keeping the ball alive. The offload from Strange. And then the offload from Chris, the support play from Hudson Young. That's a great try from the Raiders. So, Sanders moves in. I think he's hooked. He hit the right upright. No good. It's a 4-point game. The Raiders need another try in 5 minutes. Can they get there? There's plenty of time. But you're gonna feel sick if you're Ethan Sanders. I don't think they could kick a 2-pointer though. Joe Tarpany's past his HIA. He'll be back. That'll be massive for the final 5 minutes. Here we go. So, they're set up to kick off. Bang. It's going to be fielded at the goal line by Tamale. It's going to be a run. Josh Papali'i, he's had a massive night. Yeah, hit the right upright. While Tamale takes the hit up, he runs at Hayward and gets over the 20. There's new life in the Raiders now. Brayley barking orders. It's a hit up going to be taken by Corey Horsburgh, and he's stopped just shy of his own 30. Tarpany prowling the sideline, waiting to get back on. Sanders drifts left to Strange. Strange goes to Weeks again. Weeks can't get past Chuala. He's tackled at the 40 on the 4th. Young drifts across. Dummies. Oh, pops the offload out back to Sanders. Sanders finds Chris. They're back on the left again. And Chris is tackled 5 shy of halfway. So kick downfield going to be from Sanders. It's a floater. It'll be tough to take. They're going to let it bounce. It bounces. There's 5 Raiders there. Strange hits it back. The bounce beats Sasungi. It's towed forward by Crichton. Fallen on by Savage. 6 again. The Raiders are in position now. The tap ahead by Crichton gives them a set restart. Hudson Young takes the first hit up. Here we go. Brayley from dummy half. They go left to Horsburgh, who dummies at nobody, but it bounces off Haywood, and he gets just over the 20, middle of the field on the 3rd. Here we go. Brayley, they go right to Tarpany, who is on the field. He runs at Matt Burton and powers over the 10-toe. Tarpany has stopped 4 out. On the 4th, Brayley to Sanders. Sanders turns Hosking underneath, and he's tackled. Good tackle there from Curran. On the last, in front of the right upright. They go left to Sanders. Sanders to Strange. Strange dummies. Pops it out back to Young. Young looking for the offload. He puts a grubber kick through. And it's fallen on by Jamin Salmon in the back left corner. Good field position for the Raiders. Can they make the most of it? Run there only gains maybe 3 from Montoya. Canberra need to muscle up now. Tuala gets nothing. He ran back at the markers. On the 3rd, they're still inside their own 10. The Raiders look the lively ones now. To run. Oh, Tracy is dropped on the 10 on the 4th. Burton's going to need a monster to get them out of trouble here. King is tackled 17 out from his own line. There's 2:13 left. Burton going to send it downfield. It bounces and is fielded by Weeks. Just outside his own 20, he returns it to the 30 and then to the 40. Ducks back behind the 40 and then get over the 40 again. He's 5 shy of halfway. 1 minute 55 for the Raiders. You think this is their last throw of the dice. Tamale gets over halfway. He's been immense tonight. On the 2nd, Brayley finds Hosking, who cuts up the field and gets to over the 40 on the 3rd. Will they be close enough? They go left to Sanders. Sanders out back to Strange. Strange shows, gives it to Weeks. Weeks over the 30 on that left side, breaks the tackle. Gets it back to Strange. Now they move back towards the middle of the field through Tarpany. And he gets the offload to ground from Hosking to Martin. Martin, cut out ball to Savage. Savage showing over the 20 on the 4th. They might be close enough. Crichton is so slow out of the ruck. No call. Strange goes to Sanders. Sanders to Brayley. Brayley to Young. Young palms off Galvin. Can't quite get past Preston. This is the last. What do they got? Brayley. They go right to Tarpany, plays first receiver. It goes to Sanders. Sanders dummies. Sanders has a gap. Sanders try-saving, game-saving tackle from Connor Tracy. And the Bulldogs are going to win this game. Wow. Connor Tracy saves the Bulldogs match by just a textbook tackle because it opened up like the Red Sea for Ethan Sanders. He left Kickow in the dust. There just wasn't the support. He needed one man to pass to. As Tuala gets the ball and falls over in front of the post, there's 35 seconds. The Dogs can just run out the clock, you would think. 30 seconds now. It's the 2nd. Wow. The Dogs are going to escape because the Raiders were storming back. 15 seconds. Ball finds Salmon. He's back by Horsburgh, but the ball doesn't come free. On the 4th. Time still rolling. 5 seconds. Time off. Referee's blowing time off on Salmon, telling him to hurry up. Haywood passes to King, and King will take the final hit up, and that will do us in Canberra. The Bulldogs pull off the win in just terrible conditions against a tenacious Raiders side, but they come away with a 14-10 victory. They are 2-0 to start this year. Sighs of relief I can imagine are going around Belmore right now, because that was so much closer than it needed to be. And credit to the Raiders, man. The fact that they were in this game at all is impressive, and a terrific indicator of how good their defense was, but they just could not hold on to the ball enough. And that's what cost them, and the penalties. The metric butt ton of penalties that they had go against them. We're good, the NRL site's back up now. The Raiders broke 54 tackles, but the main stat here, 9 penalties conceded. That's the one. That's the one that does it. And the 9 errors, the 77% completion rate as opposed to 90 from the Bulldogs. They just held on to the ball better. Because outside that, the Raiders were fairly good. With these guys, Tamale with 246 meters. KO Weeks at 177. He really came alive in that second half, that's for sure. Ethan Sanders had a pretty good game. Noah Martin is just the tackle bot that he always is. Hudson Young had a stellar game, I thought. So it's tough for the Raiders there. The Dogs, their best player, I thought, was pretty easily probably Matt Burton. He was essentially everywhere. Stephen Crichton was excellent. Connor Tracy gets a shout for, saving the game for them. Maybe he should get man of the match for that tackle alone. But he was very, very good. He also got over 200 meters. Lots of great performances. What a great game. We've had a couple of good Thursday night football games in a row now. No blowout is really good. I'm happy that this wasn't a blowout. What was the set restart count? I like how the NRL app only counts ruck infringements. That's funny how that works. Does no one count them? Oh, set restarts. 5-3. There were only 8 in this game? That doesn't seem correct. I felt like there was so many more. And yeah, Ricky Stewart this was his 300th game coaching. Couldn't quite get it done. Yeah. Good game though. Pretty good game. How did my fantasy team do? I think Noah Martin probably did alright because he was just tackling his ass off the entire game. 49, Sanders got 46, sitting in emergency number 8, which is just lovely. I just love when that happens. But, it is what it is. At least I've got Noah Martin to score this time. But yeah, full credit to the Dogs. I think a lot of kudos need to go to the Raiders for their defense especially. But you can tell that they have a new spine. It's fairly obvious for mine that they need to warm into this year. They haven't won they beat Manly, that's right. But they've lost their past 2. So, we'll see if they can improve as the season goes on. And for the Dogs, I'm still concerned about their attack. They still can't score many points, but maybe that was a function of the conditions, especially tonight. So I guess we will see how the rest of their season goes. Obviously, 2 massive games tomorrow. I will be working, so I'm not doing those ones. But I did this one, which was fun. So, yeah, I think that's it from me. I will see you for the weekly roundup on Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it comes out.